Okay, so in this video demonstration I just want to show you how to use the two pH meter sets that we have in this lab. So there's two pH meters that are currently down on the first floor, and these are the Genway pH meters and the Hannah pH meters. Now the Hannah pH meters have a self-instruction guide on the top, and hopefully you'll be able to follow these instructions by looking at a Genway device. So the first thing to say to you about this is that you should make sure it's plugged in and all the kind of clips are secured together for the electrode to go onto the back of the voltmeter. So you'll need a power supply and you'll need the correct electrode for the device. And just to say this as well, before filming this clip we did worry that we were not getting it right with this Hannah meter, but there is a different power supply for these meters compared to the Genway ones, but I'm sure the technical staff will advise you if needs be with what power supply to pair up with the Genway, what power supply to pair up with the Hannah. The electrodes should work for any of the pH meter devices that we have down on the first floor. So let's just show you how to use the Genway meter. So the electrode, first and foremost, is kept in a reservoir of buffer. If that runs dry, then I suggest that when you're doing a pH calibration measurement, you can take either one of the three buffer solutions and top this up. So you don't want that to be dry, because you want to protect the integrity of the electrode. Likewise, when you're measuring pH, you can take off the jacket and seal neck while using this, so it's free from contamination. So let's take the electrode, and the first thing that we need to do is to wash the electrode. So we'll wash in water. So we'll take distilled water and we'll wash the electrode. We'll shake, so I have a beaker for washing, shake, and sometimes as well, not to dilute buffers or other things, it's possibly wise to just take a fresh tissue paper and dry it. So let's go to the meter now and look at what we need to do. We can record pH or we can calibrate. So we move this arrow to the right and press enter. We can calibrate it to first buffer. So we'll place into buffer 9.2. So three buffers, 9.2, 7 and 4. And with the arrow keys we'll make this 9.2. So we'll move up the arrow keys, we'll get it to 9.2, we press enter, that's the first calibration. So we take out and wash again with distilled water. Make sure the electrode is rinsed thoroughly. Shake, dry again with tissue paper perhaps, and then we'll go into the next buffer. Let's go for 4, place it into there. We'll note now that we've got a 4.39 reading, so we'll give it a second just to make sure we get to the correct level, and we'll move down. I should say at this point, when using pH meters, pH is sensitive to temperature, always take a note of the lab temperature. So ask for a thermometer from the hatch and take a note of the lab temperature. Today in this lab it's a very warm 25-26 degrees C, we believe, so pH is dependent on temperature. Get it to 4, press enter, and we've now calibrated. It goes back to pH. So we're just going to show again how you would measure the pH of a solution after calibration. Again, wash with water, dry with tissue paper, and we're going to measure the pH today of this general lab stock 3 molar H2SO4. So we'll shake off any water, well, we've dried it with tissue paper, we'll just place in there. Again, we're not being too rough with the electrode and dropping it down to the bottom of the bottle and shattering the electrode. We place inside and we see we're reading to about 0.46, 0.4 pH. So we'll let it calibrate for a moment or so, that's fine. Sorry, not calibrate, let it get down to a common value. And we'll take out, record our value before taking it out, wash with water, and if we're ready to take the next sample, so for measurement we can dry with tissue paper, place it to the next sample. If we need to wait a few moments, put it back into the buffer bottle, or sorry, the storage bottle, leave it. When you next need it, take it out, wash with water, dry it, put it back into the next sample and record the pH. And that is how to record a pH on the Genway. Likewise with the HANA one, again you need to calibrate it against buffer solutions, as we've shown by pressing the calibration key, placing the electrode into each of the two buffers and following the instructions which are clearly represented on this box. So this is how to use a chain array and HANA pH electrode. Thank you.